Hello. Okay, today we are going to look at how to create assignment groups so that you can have weighted categories as per your syllabus. So I'm starting at my home page. Come over to the left, assignments, and you'll have the same thing on yours. These are all those assignments that got loaded in through Pathways. We'll deal with those in a second. But what we're going to do first is go to plus group. And my first group, my first category on my syllabus is called papers and essays. So name it whatever it is named on your syllabus. Save. Okay, and if you just want to see where it is, everything, by the way, by default is an assignment. These were even discussions. These were ones that were created earlier. So they're just hanging out in this default assignments category. And then all this other stuff is all the Pathways material. But if I come down here, here is the one I just created, papers and essays. Okay, so for the moment, I would just want to go, and right now I'm going to create all of the categories first. So I'm going to do my next one is plus group. And that one, I call it a kind of lengthy thing. Reading quizzes, practice, skills practice, assignments, homework, final project. Okay, a lot of stuff is going in there, but that's okay. You've got whatever categories and groups you've decided upon. Oh, actually, final project is the second one, the third one. Okay, so this category contains all those types of assignments. So I've saved that. Looks like my next category is called final project. Save that. And then the final one is the participation. And I'm just calling it active participation. This is the one that includes the Zoom attendance and the discussion forum on Canvas. Okay, good. So now I have down here, I have those categories that I just created. So what I want to do is on the three vertical dots in this gray box, I want to do the assignment groups weight. And I'm going to check this weight final grade based on assignment groups. Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. So under assignments, remember that's just the Canvas default. I don't have any category called assignments. So I'm just going to leave that alone. Explore, word forms, word families, reading activities, videos. That's all the Pathways stuff, writing tasks. My actual first category is papers and essays. And in my syllabus, it is 20%. So I'm going to put 20. This reading quizzes, skills practice assignments, and homework is 30. Final project is 25. And then the active participation is also 25. And it's, you see, this does total 100. If your math was off anyway, you'd figure that out. And these preset things that were thrown in, I'm going to ignore. They're not part of my weighted categories. Save. So now if we come back down and look at those 4 categories that I set up, it shows the weight by them, the papers and essays. Now it has set that it's going to be 20% of total. This category, 30% of total. Final project, 25% of total. Active participation, 25% of total. Now it's set, and so every time you enter something, it will be appropriately weighted. What you're going to have to do is anything that already exists, like these assignments were ones that we made as practice. So the journal, that for me would be in the reading quizzes, skills practice assignments, and homework. So you have to be kind of careful when you do this. But over here on the left are those 2 rows of vertical gray dots that you can use to drag things up and down. You can either drag this all the way down to your categories, or, well, for now, I was going to think of dragging that up, but there's so much stuff in between. Just be careful, hold on to it. You have to be kind of precise. Do you notice as we're moving down, there's that dark gray box that's going along? That's good, because that's where you're going to want to put it when you're down to where you need to be. Okay, so this is another preset. Okay, this is going in my category of this. So do you see how the gray box, the dark gray bar is behind it? That shows that you're going to be placing it there. If you don't hold your finger correctly and carefully, these things are slippery. They might pop back up or something. And that can definitely be corrected, but just to let you know while you're dragging things around. Discussion 1, let's say that's my week discussion. This is going to go down in that active participation category. So let's drag that down. And you'll get pretty skilled at doing this. So I want it in active participation. Okay, good. Now I'll show you another way that you can place things in your categories. So discussion 2, of course, I want to put down in that active participation. I don't want to drag it again. Another way you can do it is simply to edit it. And at this point, you get the choice of assignment group. Again, by default, it's going to be in assignments or like a quiz if you've done that. But if you do the drop-down menu, come down to active participation, and then don't forget to save. And let's go back out to assignments and see if it's down in that category. Okay, well, it's not up here, so let's just go down to our established active participation. So there it is. And I'll do that final thing for this assignment. Again, instead of dragging it down, I'm just going to edit it and then choose, okay, this was a journal, so this would be in that homework category for me. Assignments, drop-down menu, this one. Oh, and by the way, as you're creating new assignments, new papers, new discussions, new quizzes, you're going to be going through this editing, and you'll see the same assignment group option. So you can set it as you're making a new assignment. You don't have to make it and then wait and go and drag it or do this. You can set that parameter as you're making the rest of the assignment. So now let's just make sure that it did right? There's nothing now in the default assignment. And here are the two written or homeworky assignments and the two discussions, which I'm going to put in active participation. And then we'll have to do the same thing if we use any of this pathway stuff, or as we use the pathway stuff, we'll decide where it goes. You know, I guess it'll have to just make sense for how we're using it and how we're going to do our class. Maybe something like this I would consider one of the skills practice or homework assignments. And so I would put it here. I'm using the drag method. So that shows you now how to create weighted categories, right? Plus group, name it. When you get all the groups, do the assignment group weights, and then you can set it there. And let's just take one final peek into our grades, our grade book, so that, of course, all these preset things, the things we've created legitimately, and all that pathways preset stuff, it's all in our grade book. But if we go over to, if we go over to the far right, here are the categories that were created. Final project, the quiz, homework, skills, papers and essays, and active participation. And if you just do the math, 25 and 25 is 50, and 30 is 80, and 20 is 100. So for now, as we're just starting out and we don't really have grades in any certain slots for assignments, there's nothing really here, but this shows that we've set it up, it's calculating in the grades, and it's set to go for us. Oh, and one more thing that I always like to do, click on the dots by total, move to front, and then the total will be next to the students' names. Of course, we have it populated already. So that is how you set weighted categories as per your syllabus.